They were cousins, they were queens, and they were each other's biggest threat. Elizabeth I of England and Mary, Queen of Scots, had one of the most dramatic rivalries in history, full of betrayal, plots, and gossip that ended in blood. Let's spill the Tudor tea on the royal feud that shook Europe. First, the setup. Elizabeth was Protestant, ruling England after her sister Mary I's death. Mary, Queen of Scots, was Catholic, and to many Catholics, she was the true heir to the English throne. Why? Because Elizabeth had been declared illegitimate after Anne Boleyn's execution. So from day one, Mary's existence was a problem. While Elizabeth was carefully building her image as the Virgin Queen, Mary was everything she wasn't. Young, glamorous, married to a French king, and producing heirs. Court gossips loved to compare them. One has beauty and charm, the other has brains and caution. And of course, they were set on a collision course. Mary's love life made Elizabeth's look squeaky clean. After her first husband, the French king Francis II, died young, she returned to Scotland. Then she married Henry Stuart, Lord Darnley. Disaster. At first it looked like a power couple match, but Darnley was arrogant, violent, and jealous. The gossip turned ugly when Darnley and his friends murdered Mary's secretary, David Rizzio, in front of her while she was pregnant. Court drama doesn't get more brutal than that. Then, in 1567, Darnley himself was found dead, strangled in a garden after an explosion destroyed his house. Scandal alert. The prime suspect? Mary's new lover, the Earl of Bothwell. And guess what? She married him right after. To Elizabeth and most of Europe, this looked like pure guilt. Mary's reputation tanked. After the Darnley scandal, Mary's Scottish nobles rebelled. She was forced to abdicate the throne in favour of her infant son, James. Desperate, Mary fled to England, straight into Elizabeth's hands. Now, Elizabeth was in a bind. On one hand, Mary was family and a fellow queen. On the other, she was a Catholic rival, with a stronger claim to the throne in the eyes of many. If Elizabeth let her go, rebels could rally around her. If she kept her, she was imprisoning a queen. Elizabeth chose option 2. Mary was held under house arrest in various castles across England. And of course, the gossip didn't stop. People whispered about plots to rescue Mary, letters she supposedly smuggled out, and the drama of two queens circling each other like rival influencers fighting for the crown. For 19 years, Elizabeth kept Mary locked up. But Mary wasn't just sitting quietly. She was the centre of conspiracy after conspiracy. Catholic plots to assassinate Elizabeth and put Mary on the throne popped up again and again. The final straw was the Babington Plot in 1586. Letters were intercepted suggesting Mary approved a plan to kill Elizabeth. Was Mary directly involved? Historians still debate it, but Elizabeth's advisers seized the chance. They put Mary on trial for treason, even though she was technically a foreign queen, not an English subject. The verdict? Guilty. Mary was sentenced to death. Elizabeth hesitated, worried about executing a fellow monarch, but eventually she signed the warrant. On February 8, 1587, Mary, Queen of Scots, was executed at Fotheringhay Castle. The scene was pure drama. Mary appeared in a red petticoat, the Catholic colour of martyrdom, making a final statement with her outfit. She declared her faith, forgave her enemies, and laid her head on the block. The execution was messy. It took multiple blows. But the image of Mary dying a dramatic, almost saint-like death spread across Europe. Elizabeth claimed the execution was done without her full consent, but nobody really believed that. The gossip painted Elizabeth as both ruthless and reluctant. So here's the tea. Elizabeth may have worn the crown, but Mary was always her shadow, the rival who haunted her reign. Their feud ended with Mary's blood on the scaffold, and Elizabeth's legend as the cautious survivor intact. But while Elizabeth was settling family drama, Spain was getting ready to settle scores of its own. In the next episode, we'll spill the tea on the Spanish Armada, when Europe's biggest naval superpower came for Elizabeth, and she turned it into her greatest PR win.